Today, we're going to hear a story called Barney, Stowaway Cat. But first, I need to introduce you all to Barney. He's my wonderful cat who lives with me and with my husband Joe and our dog Floyd. And you get to decide whether this is a true story or not. Barney the cat usually lives in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, with Grandma Margie and Grandpa Joe. He loves to wander into the woods and poke his nose into holes in the stone wall or listen for scurrying mice in the drain pipes by the driveway. As you know, cats are curious. Cats also love to curl up in soft places, and these two things combine to give Barney a world-class adventure. It all started one day when Barney was investigating Grandpa Joe's suitcase. Grandpa Joe travels a lot to places all over the world. On this particular day, Grandpa Joe's suitcase was open on the bed, and Barney, like any curious cat, poked his nose into the suitcase, spied a cozy place that looked perfect for a nap, and soon he was fast asleep. Now, Grandpa Joe was rushing to finish packing and head to the airport, and without looking into his suitcase, he closed the top and zipped it shut. Before Barney knew what was happening, the suitcase was in the trunk of the car, and Grandpa Joe was off to the airport. The humming of the road and the vibrations of the car soon put Barney into a deep sleep. So there's the suitcase going into the trunk of the car, and off they go to the airport. By the time Barney woke up, he was in the baggage compartment in the airplane. Meow, 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 Barney cried, but all he heard in return was woof, woof from a couple of dogs in their crates. Grandpa Joe was quite tired when he arrived at his hotel in Rome. He set down his suitcase and unzipped it. When he opened the suitcase, he had quite a big surprise. There was a blur of fur and tail. Barney, he said, how did you get to Rome? So it's going to be hard for you to see that. But that little blur there is Barney the cat jumping out of the suitcase when Grandpa Joe unzipped it. Grandpa Joe quickly called Grandma Margie to tell her what had happened. They needed to decide what to do. So in this picture you can see our dog Floyd too, and he's going to have a book read to him at another time. Grandpa Joe thought it over and decided he might as well do what he usually does when he arrives in a new city. Go for a walk and see the sights. So he would just take Barney with him. Barney, he said, we're going to the Roman Colosseum. So here's a picture. This is a very old building built many, many years ago, and some of it has fallen down. So Grandpa Joe and Barney walked to the Colosseum, and Grandpa Joe thought about its history. It was built 2,000 years ago, made of heavy stone with lots of hidden passageways. The spectators did not come to watch football or soccer games. Instead, they watched the gladiators fight each other. Inside the Colosseum, Grandpa Joe was pointing out different areas of this famous building. You can see how old it is inside. Barney, on the other hand, was thinking that there had to be mice down all those little rooms. Can you see Barney right there in the picture? So he's in Rome with Grandpa Joe. Grandpa Joe kept Barney on his shoulder when they walked through the crowded streets of Rome. The city was filled with people and very noisy. Barney missed his woods at home. So this one's a little dark, but there's Barney on Grandpa Joe's shoulder. When Grandpa Joe and Barney came to the Tiber River, Barney relaxed a little, watching the fish swimming below. He would have enjoyed a nap on the stone wall, but Grandpa Joe picked him up to head over to the Roman Forum. So here's Barney taking a nap right near the famous Tiber River in Rome. Like the Colosseum, the Roman Forum is ancient, meaning it was built a long, long time ago. Many of the important buildings that housed government offices have fallen down. There were few people around, so Grandpa Joe let Barney wander in the grass and stretch his legs. And I don't know if you'll be able to find, I have to find him first. Where is he? Oh, he's way over here. Right there is Barney at the Roman Forum. Barney and Grandpa Joe's last stop was the famous Trevi Fountain. Lots of people throw coins into this fountain. There's even a song about it called 3 Coins in the Fountain. And Barney found a nice place to watch the fountain. The next 2 days, Grandpa Joe was busy attending a meeting, so Barney had to stay in the hotel room. But life in the hotel wasn't all that bad for Barney. A nice woman came each day and talked with Barney while she made up the bed and vacuumed the room. And they even had kitty-friendly room service. So here's Barney on the bed in the hotel, and this is what they brought him. And let's see what he has there. It looks like some nice canned cat food, a little piece of salmon, some cheese, and I'm not sure, maybe some broccoli. I'm not sure if he would eat that. The next day, Grandpa Joe showed Barney a cat carrier that he had bought for him. Now you can travel back to North Carolina with me in business class, he said. So instead of having to be shut away in the suitcase, Barney gets to ride in the cat carrier. Barney and Grandpa Joe returned home to Chapel Hill, tired but well fed from all the delicious food in business class. Grandma Margie was very glad to see them both. While Grandma Margie gave Barney a big hug, she said, "You crazy stowaway cat." Barney now has his own passport. So in case you don't know what a passport is, it's a special piece of identification that you need to travel from the United States to another country. And so here's a picture of Barney on his very own passport. So just in case he wants to go on another trip. I hope you've enjoyed this Barney tale. And I want to thank my son Kevin for his special help with all the pictures. That's the end of the book. Good night.